Hey there, welcome to this tea review. I'm Ashish and I'm sitting here with Soham. How's it going, Soham?
It's going well.
Good, good. And today we are going to drink a 2013 Bulang Shou Puerh.
Oh, some
It
echo.
had
Is
the
that
echo on it. So, what do we know about this tea?
well? We know that it's good. It's really good.
Well, I don't know that it's good. I assume that it's good, but I have never had this tea. So, or maybe I
Hey,
have, right? Have I had this tea?
can you see the smoke?
Yeah.
I think that's because this tea is lit. Um, I apologize for that.
I've never had this tea from my personal collection, but it's possible that I've had this tea at a tea shop.
It is possible. It is
Okay.
possible. Um, so, I, in my early days of drinking pour, I quickly realized that I really liked the Bulang teas, especially the Bulang Shou Puerh teas, because uh, Bulang is a mountain in Menghai area, which is birthplace of Shou Puerh essentially, and Bulang is known for like this. They're like kind of more the tea that they produce is produced there is has a bite to it, strength. Um, I know the tea house I used to work at, we had this Bulang Shou Puerh that we called Bulang Strong because it had a strength to it, but it's not necessarily strength in the, oh yeah, this tea is really like, oh wow, it's so powerful. It's just it gives, it's a strengthening feeling. It's more of a grounded, invigorating quality. And the teas are also kind of, this is like this nougaty quality to a lot of the Bulang teas, obviously the Shou Puerh tea. Um, anyways, I have the cake here for people to see.
Very nice.
And obviously there's some chunks taken out of it there. And I just spilled a little bit on the course, just as an offering. Um, more 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 factual information. The area of Bulang is known to have very rich kind of clay infused soil, so that informs uh, the tea as well, along with the altitude. It's just like definitely like higher elevation, 1500 kind of, is it square? Is that, I don't even, it's high up there. It's higher than some other puer areas, and I guess I don't have a lot to say other than that. I just want to get to
Cool.
drink.
Yeah, let's drink it.
I just know that I like this tea, and I'm excited to drink it.
I mean, that's pretty much like all the review that I need. Like if somebody who has similar taste to me in tea tells me they like a tea, I'm like, all right, cool.
Oh yeah. Oh, something I did want to mention, because you can look up Bulang Mountain. There's lots of information online from different people that talk about the area and the people. And it's a really beautiful area. At least from pictures, it seems so. And I would really like to go there. Really beautiful culture as well. But this tea is 2012 material, spring 2012 material that was pressed in 2013. So it has a fair amount of age on it. I can smell just from the cake in general. There's a nice, clean, aged quality, kind of a nice mentholated quality. And it's, 2013 was the year of the snake. And what can I say? I love the snake.
I'm sure you could say a lot, But let's at least get some water on the leaves before we go into that.
Yeah.
So this as a compressed tea, and it seems high, you know, on the higher side of compression. I'm assuming I'm preparing myself that the first few steepings of this are going to be pretty light.
I'd say
But we'll
it's,
see.
I'd say it's in the middle in terms of compression.
Okay.
Mm.
Smell some vanilla on that. Definitely
Yeah.
like dry leaves, dry like autumn, you know, like the leaf piles on the side of the street.
Yeah, it has a dry wood. It's a woody. It's sweet,
Hmm.
almost like a berry, like a type of berry.
Well,
The oolong teas are known for having kind of a more equal parts bitter and then a almost like a sweet taste coming through
hmm.
as well. I'm excited to revisit this tea. It's been a while since I've had this tea. It has a nice mineral character. Might be partly my pot because I'm using a Pinot Novac pot. So that I chose the pot for this tea because I know that this tea has a mineral character already, and um, the clay that he uses gives a nice minerality to the tea. It's definitely a breathable, clarifying quality. But I feel like from this tea in general, I'm already feeling like a cooling sensation on the inhale, and the Bulang teas are known also for having like a slippery quality to
Yeah, I'm
the
getting that. Yeah.
like a wet stone,
Yeah.
and that's something that comes through in the serpentine stream
Mhm.
tea that we have as well, which is a Menghai tea.
Yeah, you know, I mean, this may not be palatable to people, but like the wet skin of a snake, you know, it's like very slippery.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you told me that, it's like this tea is like the wet skin of a snake. Like, what is
Yeah,
that?
but that's because you like snakes.
I absolutely love snakes.
So,
I mean, some people are really afraid of snakes. Like they have
yeah.
the deep primal fear that people have of snakes. I don't have that, um, and I guess maybe that's why I if I like that,
So,
maybe that would freak somebody out about me, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
I mean, they're going to find out eventually. I mean, it's not like you can hide it.
I yeah, man. I don't know if it's for this video, but maybe later I'll share a story. Um, okay, so I'm on the second steeping. The first one was definitely lighter because
Yep.
what I like to do with the with pu'er tea, especially Shou Puerh tea, is I like to keep some intact chunks, especially when I'm pulling from a cake myself, and I'm not just getting a sample. I like to have a set the chunks in a way in the pot, and then add a little bit of the more looser material, and kind of
Hmm.
so throughout the session I get this like kind of there's some of the tea that's slowly
Right.
opening.
Yeah.
Then I'm sure you've
That's
even
a
seen
great
this.
idea. Yeah.
But actually, I had a friend. Shout out to Nikki Evers, who he kind of showed me one of his techniques, his very artful technique of arranging the like leaves from a cake in there, like with that ratio, and it kind of just really set me on a journey of how to do that for myself, which I feel like I was already intuitively doing, but I did notice a difference in my sessions after that.
Yeah. Yeah, this second steeping definitely got more body to it for me because I didn't do that technique. I just put the chunks in. I don't have any loose material in my bag.
You could also
Definitely
break it up a little bit if you wanted.
right. Definitely darker. Um, more of the kind of woody, kind of nutty
Yeah,
profile coming out.
yeah, yeah. I say nougat with this
Hmm.
tea because it's it's I don't know what exactly even nougat is really. I know what it is, but I don't know what the definition for it is. It's kind of like not my strong suit.
Hmm.
Uh, Here's the exact definition of something. Um, but it's this, it's almost like a caramelized leading up to what we'd experience from maybe milk chocolate or something.
Hmm.
Um, I don't want to say it's a milky quality to this tea. I think it's the slipperiness of it, which is
Yeah, there's a viscosity to it there that it stays on the tongue for sure. Like I'm just noticing it coats it. There's a sweetness over the entire tongue when you breathe in. It's just the whole tongue.
and you feel
Top
that
to
like
bottom.
mentholated cooling quality when
Yeah,
you yeah.
yeah.
That's what I get from a lot of the Bulang teas, which is is pretty pleasant to be honest,
It's very nice. Yeah,
especially
especially
because
right now.
you drink them in the summer,
Yeah.
and you get that like cooling. You can have a dark tea and it's still like you feel like there's a cooling quality, but then also in the warmer, I mean in the colder months, you get like that nice,
Mm.
if you there's already a chill in the air, like it kind of
Right.
it's kind of pleasant.
I don't I don't know what other people's term for this, if there is one, but mine is going to be for the moment puppy paws, which is puppy paws, which is basically this tea is has a quality to it where it's like showing me that it's going to go somewhere. Like, oh, like I see where it's like, when a puppy is little, its paws kind of show you how big it's going to get.
Oh,
So there's aspects about this tea that are like, oh wow, this is really good, and I can sense that some of these areas are going to be grown into.
it's funny. Before you explained what puppy paws was, I just imagined the emoji of those like little
Yeah, yeah,
paws, like it's like the tracks, like it's leading somewhere.
yeah. Steeping
I also
3.
I also thought of in Harry Potter when they have the invisibility cloak and there's the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
steps. You
You
can't
mean
see.
the Marauders map?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. In the yes, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. So this is definitely opening up nicely. A nice blend of different grades of leaf of like buds and a nice blend of varying leaf grades. I'd say about a balanced blend.
Yeah.
Uh,
Not
from
much twig in there. I don't see any anyway.
Yeah, it's not a stemmy tea. I mean, there are some twigs in there. This is a very pleasant tea.
It's
Very
very mellow.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is definitely a grounding tea
Yeah.
in every sense.
But okay, but let's go into that though, because we say that a lot, and I think that, you know, especially when we're talking about Liu Bao's and Shou Puerhs, it can come up a lot. But there's a different quality of groundedness to this tea. You know, um,
It's an invigorating tea. Uh, like it's strengthening.
yeah, that's the
You
color.
you could pour this. You could be heavy-handed with this tea, and you might get a little bit of that back end astringency that you would find in like a almost like a coffee, uh, it's like a deep fruit. It's like a pulverized fruit juice, um, like a deep dark berry juice. It has a black cherry note to it or something.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, but
I'm just like
without the sweetness.
yeah,
You know, I mean, the sweetness is a little bit there, but it's basically like that part of dark cherry that's not like, because if you think about cherry, some people immediately think about the sweetness, but there's other characteristics going on
it's
in
almost like
cherry.
you can taste the aroma of that.
Hmm.
It's because it's like a mahogany or some kind of cherry
Yeah,
wood. It's like cherry wood.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You smell it like you smell that like from a cherry pipe. It's like you smell that sweet smell, but it doesn't taste sweet. It's like coffee. Like when you smell coffee roasting, you're like, wow, that smells that way. That's really pleasant. When you drink it, it's not always like you're drinking that what you're smelling.
yeah. You know, a lot of things with the breath on this tea just coming up, because I know we mentioned it makes it pleasant to breathe, especially in the hot weather. You feel it going across your tongue, but also inhaling it, it has kind of a quality of like that osha root has, where you just like it help. Like I know that there are certain things I smell when it just naturally helps me to inhale deeper.
Yeah.
And there's a quality to this tea where it does that, you know.
Well, it's showing you like your breath. It's kind of like it gives you an outline of your breath.
Oh, so no, you lay down, lay down.
By now, the energy of the tea, I'm definitely feeling a nice head shift. There is a there is a kind of quality to it. It doesn't happen immediately, of course, because it has something to do with the leaves needing to open up a bit. Uh, but I
Yeah,
feel
I'm
like
not feeling that yet. I feel that it will come, but I'm feeling it more on the larger body trunk
oh
at the
yeah,
moment.
I'm on my fourth
Um,
steeping.
yeah, this is going to be the fourth for me.
Okay.
Um,
Definitely
but
feel my.
also
I feel
you did that technique with the leaves. Some of the leaves were loose,
yeah,
so you're getting some different energetic signatures
yeah.
too.
I
Yeah,
have a different pot. It's different pot.
sure.
I used a healthy amount of leaf.
I did too. Yeah.
I didn't use too much, but I definitely used a good amount. I'm feeling the energy. I need to get better with the different terms of the chop chi, but like there is a lot up my sides.
Hmm.
Um, it is an all arounder. Like I'm definitely feeling it in my arms, feeling my
Yep.
chest, felt up my sides, and it wasn't until the end of the third cup that I felt
I'm
it.
starting to feel it now, like the back of the head and the sides. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a clarifying. It's not a heavy tea. It could
But
be
it
heavy.
has body. It has body to it. It's not thin.
Mm.
You
I
know.
I don't prefer too light of fermentation with Shou Puerh teas, like where it's almost like a light roast coffee where it's the fruity notes are too predominant.
Right.
Because I don't go for Shou Puerh teas necessarily for, I mean, I like complexity. I like like.
Right, but then you might as well just drink a shung then at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I do like now that there are some more people that are wanting to not so heavily ferment a tea, like because I don't like too heavily either. But I feel like this is balanced. It's a lighter to medium fermentation. It's not
Yeah.
too heavy. They used high quality leaf material, uh, and I can tell that it's not. They're like healthy trees. You know, they're not necessarily old. It's not old tree, but it's like from healthy trees.
So you mentioned the aspect of this tea that it was 2012 material pressed in 2013. I mean, do you have any intuition or sense about what that potentially, how that would show up in the finished product?
Yeah, it's something I'm fascinated by. Like when a producer or someone that's gonna blend a tea or they're gonna press teas into cakes, like having the matcha, like obviously the matcha sat for about a year and settled in that form before it was then pressed. To press the tea, you have to steam it. You have to kind of rehydrate it in a way to press it.
Right.
And honestly, my knowledge around that is limited. But what I feel from this tea is whatever they did, it was a great idea because
Yeah.
it's awesome. And I honestly feel that this tea is drier. It's not a wet. First off, it wasn't wet stored, like it was dry stored. Secondly, the tea itself it's not syrupy. It's kind of like a good drier like Cabernet or something. It's like a drier red wine. And like a dry.
But not dry though. But not dry. Huh? But not dry.
No,
drier, but not
drier, but not dry.
Right.
It's a good balance. It's a good balance of because it has a nice body to it, like we were saying.
Right.
So if it's too dry, the body gets the body of the tea kind of gets compromised when it's too dry, because then you're feeling that like sometimes your mouth will kind of dry up a little bit, like you'll feel that lingering. With this tea, it's like
yeah. So one thing I thought of after asking you that question is it's kind of like making oatmeal, right? If you make oatmeal and you eat it right away, that's one experience. But if some of that is left over to the next day and you put more water on it to reconstitute it, there's an extra softness to it at that point. Things have kind of like coalesced more. And I have no idea if this translates to tea, of course, but it's just the only kind of even somewhat related experience that I've personally experienced. So
I feel like that's a good analogy. Maybe because I make oatmeal every day.
Yeah,
and
it's like second day oatmeal or second day dal or whatever. It's great the first day, and also the second day is different experience. Like things have blended together more. It's more cohesive. Yeah, interesting.
There's a nice tingly sensation on the tongue.
Yeah.
As I get
this is a very well balanced tea. I mean, I feel like it kind of doesn't have a direction in my, like it's not like certain teas is very clear. Okay, this is taking me here or taking me there, and those, it's always a good place to be taken, you know, but you choose those teas for that reason. This one is more I don't know how to put it, but it feels complementary to a current state, um, supportive, you know.
I think a way to say it is it doesn't have an agenda,
Mm-hmm.
because it probably has some direction that would be more noticeable after repeated
Right.
visitations, conversations with this tea. But I feel like the personality, it's not like it's got its own thing going on, but it's not gonna reveal its hand. So it's got, and I think it works with you. Like it kind of
Yeah.
depends on where you're at.
Yeah, for sure.
Some teas, like we know because we've had these teas, they like they have their thing, and we go to them because okay,
For
well,
that, yeah.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
but this tea, yeah, is adaptable.
So, kind of an extension of this, what situations would be like if you wanted to, from a prescriptive standpoint, be like, why would you reach for this tea? Personally, why would you reach for this tea?
Um, I think this tea is very. This tea could be great in a lot of situations. It's definitely a tea house tea, meaning that
Mm-hmm.
this is like you want to have a tea like this on hand. It's a daily drinker. It's going to work for most people. Uh, it's very agreeable. It's an accessible tea, I feel. I think this would be a great tea for people that love to drink Shou Puerh and they just want an old reliable. They want a tea that's like, okay, I don't want to necessarily bust out my. It's kind of a tea to drink when you don't really know what you want, because this
Mm-hmm.
will for sure be good and it will be different every time. But
Yep.
overall, there will be you can expect that it'll do the thing and kind of help support, bring you back in your body, because it definitely, I feel very much in my body with this tea. I feel rooted.
Yep.
Like I feel like I kind of sank down into the ground a little bit more. And you know, the Bulang area is known for having a lot of that like minerality from the soil that the trees are in, and it's I'm, I can't remember if I don't think it's all of Bulang that's protected, but most of it is a protected area. I'd have to like it feels that it's protected. It's a protected tea.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, this would be great thermos tea if
Mm-hmm.
I were going out to, like, honestly, if I were going to a show. I mean, I know that's not really happening right now.
Right.
If I need to go out into the world, this would be a great tea to have during or beforehand, because I feel like it's supportive in that way of
Yeah.
feeling in the body, feeling okay, I can do the human thing. So great for group energy, maybe even for a facilitator if they really wanted to, you know, be able to hold
Right.
space. I think it's good for that. I think it's great for people serving tea. Like if you were drinking tea, a tea to support you while serving tea to other people, like
Mm-hmm.
this is the kind of tea that I would have, that I would drink myself at the beginning of the day before a shift. This would be great. Probably for a lot of scenarios that a lot of us aren't involved in right now. However, especially now, you know, you're having to go somewhere and mask up, and you work at the grocery store, or are you're like one of the heroes that's working at a restaurant right now. Like any kind of
Sure. Yeah.
that, but also I feel like a lot of the teas we're drawn to, they're good for good for meditation.
They're generally good, yeah. But you know what's one thing I do want to mention, because while you're talking, like I felt like it shifted into another gear energetically, is that we're shooting this video to get close to 30 minutes, but I feel like we are only about halfway through the journey of this tea. Like I feel like it has a lot of longevity.
Yes.
And I, because of the format that we're doing this in, like I just want to mention, I don't want to, you know, be too premature about saying, especially me, that I like, because I'm describing the landscape as I experience it essentially. Um, but this tea just like told me, oh, I've got more, you know, and I feel like it's easily going to go for another 30 minutes and have other attributes to it. And it could be, and it could be potentially very different than the things that have been experienced so far. I mean, I feel like, you know, because some teas just take a little bit to come on. That's part of their gentleness, is they open up and they kind of like build rapport with you before kind of getting into some of the deeper energy that they have to offer.
This could definitely take you, with all that said, I was definitely saying things about this could help you go out into the world, right?
You know,
Because this takes you into your inner world in a
yeah,
way that isn't like you're removing yourself. You could totally take this tea there, go so inside that you like a good meditation, whatever. But this would support you being in your inner world while interfacing
yeah.
to
Stay
get,
centered.
yeah.
Stay,
I,
yeah,
I feel like I'm in my egg, and my egg
yeah.
is more is being supported. It's like, and I could work with this energy in a way of like, oh yeah, this would help me, you
Hmm.
know, do the thing. Breathe into it, strengthen my field. You could go full woo with this tea, but in a very practical, like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well, one thing that I'm experiencing is the energy up in the head, that I feel like it's expanding and kind of relaxing and opening up. I've had the experience where teas, especially young Shou Puerhs, they also open up that space, but the speed at which they do it usually can become uncomfortable for me and give me slight headache. But I feel like this tea has kind of opened the aperture of what that space up there in the same way, but because of this, the speed at which it is doing it,
yeah, yeah,
I'm able to, with my speed and whatever my relationship is to that area, able to be more comfortable with the process.
yeah. I like what you said, aperture. That's
Yeah.
that's a great. It's steady. It goes
Mhm.
at a pace, and it's a slower pace. You know,
Yeah.
it's definitely more of a creeper. You know, just because I
Right.
felt steadily that I'm still it's still going. It's going, and
Right.
it's
And
like
part of that is the physical mechanism of the fact that it's compressed
totally.
is adding to that.
And you know, my leaves haven't fully opened up yet too.
There's also, I think, like some, you know, I'm noticing now that there are some, they're generally the same color,
Yeah, you could see.
some slight variation.
Yeah, you could tell. I could tell just by looking at this tea, like the cake. It is a lighter to medium fermentation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a really nice tea though. I mean, because it definitely has energetic character. Nice.
Yeah,
Um, but it also has a very nice, pleasant mouth feel, flavor. You know, so even if you're not even thinking about energy, this is a very delightful tea to drink.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's like, I've been wanting a tea like this. It just, it, it has a, I feel like I've said this for other things. It has a classic, it's reliable. You can count on it. It's, it allows for it could bring out different things in different sessions, I feel. But overall, you can count on this tea. Like
Right.
you can, like, okay, I want to have a tea that's gonna like last, like the energy is gonna last, and the session is gonna be a satisfying session. Like this is, to me, I'm already satisfied by this tea, but I also want to keep having it because it's a nice energy. It's like,
Yep.
and I think it's because it has that balance of the leaf grades too, because it has buds in it and it has up to like some meatier to larger leaf material. So you're getting this nice, it keeps going. The larger leaf material is going to continue to unfold for me. But I'm still getting the buzziness from that nice little buzz from the buds.
Yep. And it's interesting too, because you and I recently have been doing some blends of a 90s kind of bigger leaf Shou Puerh and a more tippy kind of 80s Shou Puerh, which essentially is, kind of like some attributes of what this tea is as one,
Yeah, and I'm especially now that I'm like steeping 7 or 8, I'm getting the aged character of the tea is coming through more, and it's a very pleasant. It's very just it's in a really good spot right now.
This is like this is a good spot. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many ways that you could utilize the energy of this tea.
I mean, I would go as so far to say, I mean, this is, if you don't have a lot of tea and you're trying to like, you just want a Shou Puerh in your collection. I mean, this is a great one.
And it's very affordable.
Because it's,
you could
like you said,
yeah,
like you said, it has that classic Shou character. But like some people complain about the nose of Shou Puerh, and some Shou Puerhs can be super dark and have an intensity to them. And there's just a spectrum. There's so many different expressions of Shou Puerh. But this is a really nice balance of different positive, like, I'm going to use this word lightly, positive characteristics, because they're all for different situations. Everything's good about the Shou Puerh, but there's a lot of like commonly seen as pleasant attributes of Shou Puerh blended into this one tea.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely has the mountain energy, where it's not necessarily like you're going inside of the mountain. It's when you look at a mountain, it's like, okay, that is just the tip. All the energy, it's like an iceberg, right? It's like there's all this other energy that we don't see. Some some people feel that a mountain is like basically the head of the old gods, like the giants. And it's kind of like, it's like even just the surface level of this tea is pleasant. But over time, someone could drink this tea and then they were like, wow, I really love this tea. I actually love tea.
Hmm.
I want to keep drinking tea. This is the kind of tea that I would experience in tea houses where you kind of just get them, they're drinking a tea and, oh, this is familiar. Like this is, there's not like, it's a pleasant experience, right? But then
Right.
over time, they're starting to have a kind of in-depth conversation with somebody, or they're just like, man, this tea is really good. It just keeps going. You mean this tea just keeps, especially people that haven't had a lot of gong fu, like, Chinese tea, where it just keeps giving, you just keep getting cup after cup and it just keeps going. And you're like, this is
And
awesome.
then the common question is like, oh, is this the same tea? You're like, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And then this would be the kind of tea when people would come back and they'd be like, wait, can I have that one again?
Right.
Because it kind of has this quality to it where a magnetism of like,
Right. Well, there's
I
a
want,
depth to it.
yeah,
It's like when you meet a person, some people have like a lot of surface level pleasantry, and you're like, oh, it's so cool to hang out with that person, but you got everything you needed to get from that person for a lifetime, like hanging out with them for a couple hours.
mhm, mhm.
But this is more like a person that intrigues you. It's like, oh, that was great hanging out with that person for 2 hours, and it's like, I want to hang out with that person again.
Yeah.
I want to like, you think about them and you want to call them in
Mhm.
because there's a hint that there was something deeper to the relationship than what was just experienced on the surface.
Yeah. It's like you.
It's like us.
It's like us.
It's like
What do
us.
you know? We would attract tea. That is like,
Yeah.
uh,
Oh, there's already tea and there's already water in here.
I just want to keep drinking this tea with you and just ride this out. And
Yeah.
how long this is, just cut it, whatever. Uh, I'm just gonna say, I think we've said a lot of things in that are totally, people could just be like, oh, cool. Like I want to have that tea now.
Yeah. But it's cool uh, to also reflect. Like, I think it's really neat that we're doing the videos in real time because even just like the meta aspect of the video itself is an expression of the tea. Like, for example, I think when you rewatch this, the first part of the video is slower than some of the other teas that we drink. Like
Yeah.
like for example, the light of day black tea, like from the first steeping, we were like, oh wow, like, and it just like had a certain speed of pace. But that's the cool thing about, because even cognitively, like if we don't understand or can put voice to the energy, it's still everything that happens is being guided by the tea and the energy of the tea.
Yeah. This tea, it just keeps getting better. And
Yeah.
and by better, I mean, honestly, on steeping 9, I think.
Yeah, 9 or 10. I stopped counting.
And this cup, I'm just like, this is awesome. The mentholated quality that keeps coming through. This, I don't want to say it's camphor. It's almost like a piney quality that
Yeah.
is,
But very soft though. It's not.
yeah.
It's very subtle. Yeah. Okay. So we'll keep drinking this, but let's sign off here. And if we happen to have any more additional thoughts, we'll hit record again. But for now, we'll stop this. So thanks for watching. If you appreciate this tea, you know what to do. And yeah, hope you enjoy. If you have any questions for us, feel free to reach out on the comments and we will do what we can with that.